The discussion now turns to a particular Sunday when Albert was home. They had a hot gammon. Gammon is ham which has been cured or salted like bacon. They invited the speaker to dinner. The speaker, from the evidence available, is Lil's friend. Why did they invite the speaker to dinner? To get the beauty of it hot, to enjoy hot gammon. Meanwhile, the waiter at the pub steps up the pressure. He repeats his request. Hurry up, please, it's time. He repeats this request twice and thus brings the conversation to an abrupt close. The persons say good night to one another. They do not say good night, they say only good night. Eliot has successfully captured the register of the lower class. In lower class speech, there is a tendency to refuse to pronounce clearly many syllables. Instead of saying good night, the lower class person says good night. We come to know the names of the persons who have assembled in the pub. Bill, Lou, May. And the section is brought to a close with a passage from William Shakespeare's Hamlet. Good night, ladies, good night, sweet ladies, good night, good night. These are the last words spoken by Ophelia in the play. They are spoken in Act 4, Scene 5. The passage, the quotation, provides a section with a fitting conclusion, a fitting climactic conclusion. What is the poet trying to suggest? It could be that Lil is not only in a very bad shape as far as her health is concerned, she is also near death. Further, it can be interpreted that Lil is on the verge of a psychological breakdown, very much like Ophelia. The poet seems to suggest that the tragic fate of Ophelia is what awaits Lil. I would like to bring to your notice the masterly way in which T.S. Eliot uses different kinds of language in a game of chess. I shall point out just 3 examples. The first of these is the slow-moving and majestic language with which a game of chess opens. The chair she sat in, like a burnished throne, glowed on the marble. It is slow-moving, it is majestic. It is closer to traditional verse than to conversational speech. The second example I would like to offer is a speech of the female protagonist of the first part of a game of chess. This speech is a fast moving one. The pace is very fast. Not just that, it is punctuated with abrupt pauses. My nerves are bad tonight. Yes, bad. Stay with me. Speak to me. Why do you never speak? Speak. What are you thinking of? What thinking? What? I never know what you are thinking. Think. I think if we invite a psychologist to dissect this passage, he is bound to come to the conclusion that the speaker of the passage suffers from severe hysteria. The final example that I would like to give is the language of the very last part of a game of chess. This is authentic lower class speech. We meet with the register of the lower class. For example, instead of saying good night, the speaker says good night. We have not spoken of Tiresias for quite some time. It is not advisable, it is not wise to forget Tiresias for too long a time while discussing the wasteland. Tiresias is a constant presence in the wasteland. Even when he is not spoken of, even when he is not mentioned, he is present. And what he sees is the wasteland. In this context, I would like to quote a sentence from the notes that T.S. Eliot appended to the wasteland. This is what Eliot writes. What Tiresias sees, in fact, is the substance of the poem. Unquote. Eliot puts sees in italics. Shall I repeat the sentence? What Tiresias sees, in fact, is the substance of the poem.